there and welcome. My name's Susan and this is the Crafty Dragon podcast. This is where I talk primarily about knitting, but about any craft that I can fit into my life, basically. As always, I'm coming to you from southeast London, and today we have decidedly grey weather out there, which is why the lighting's a bit weird. I don't have any separate spotlights for podcasting like I know some people do, or quite a lot do. I'm sort of hoping to save up and get some to help out with the lighting issues. But so far today we have delightful grey weather outside, providing a little bit of light, and we have my just general room light, ceiling light. That's it. So apologies in advance if the lighting is a bit pants today. But other than that, I'd like to say a really big thank you and hello and welcome to any returning viewers out there. I know there are a few, so hello, it's lovely to see you again. And I'd love to give a great big hello and welcome to anyone who's managed to stumble across this podcast for the first time. Let's all pull up a chair and grab a drink and have a bit of a knit and natter. Or, you know, crochet, sew, embroider, whatever floats your boat. Wow, this is the 5th episode. I can't believe I managed to get this far without going, yeah, no, this isn't for me. It's fun to do, even if it is a bit nerve-wracking trying to get everything edited and uploaded, because I've never done this before, so it's all new. It's all, every week's a new learning curve. Every week I go, oh, I could do that, and it makes it easier. I could do this, and it makes it quicker, and all sorts of things like that. Yeah, because the first episode took something like 20 hours to upload because I didn't know of anything. I didn't know of a way to shrink the file, but now I found a way which is so much easier. It's gone from being like 20 hours to upload an episode to, you know, about an hour or so, which is much more manageable. I can just leave it doing whilst I go and do delightful things like the washing up. Oh joy! So with a little bit of housekeeping just before I go into all the knitting goodness. You know, the last couple of episodes I've been mentioning, shall I have a KAL, shall I not? What about this? What about that? Anyone got any ideas? Yeah, again, no one has come back with any ideas. I mean, earlier this week I did have a massive cold. I mean, you can probably still hear a little bit of it in my voice, and unfortunately occasional sniffing that I don't realise I'm doing. I'll try and cut out as much of that as possible, but not sure how well I can do that. So yeah, I did actually put up the thread on Ravelry about does anyone have any ideas for a KAL, because I was a zombie at the beginning of this week. It was horrible. I even had to take a day off work. It was that bad. I spoke to my boss and she was like, yeah, no, you really don't sound good, go home. So that's what happened. So regarding the KAL, I've decided that even if no one's responded, even if it's only me and one other person doing this KAL in the end, I want to do a knit along or a make along. So I'll put up all the not rules. I'll put up a thread about it for a chat thread so everyone can have a chat and oh, I want to do this, what about that sort of thing. But the basics are, the theme is sunny days, because hopefully sunshine and summer should be just around the corner and should be coming soon. So I thought a nice KAL to do would be something where you can celebrate summer and sunshine, and although I suppose if you're in Australia you're just coming up to winter, so you can, you know, mentally bring back those sunny days that you've had or will have when summer comes back round. So yeah, the theme was sunny days. So anything that you can think of that brings you memories of summer, of sunny days, of trips out and all that sort of thing. So it could be that you've got a particularly summery yarn that you want to use. There's a pattern that makes you think, oh, that reminds me of summer, whether it's particularly lacy or if it's just a nice light airy little something. Maybe you want to maybe you've got a baby coming along and you want to do a baby blanket, so you get out all your yellows and oranges with a bit of sky blue in there, something like that. Basically, when you finished your object, post it with like a sentence or two describing why it reminds you of sunny days. Could be, I've knitted these socks, they're yellow, they remind me of the sunshine. That it's good enough for me. Just, you know, something like that. Right, I would say to make it fair for everyone, the minimum yarn that can be used, the minimum weight is 50 grams. So unfortunately, if that means that you knit a pair of socks and it comes out to 45 grams because you've got much smaller feet than me, because mine tend to come out somewhere between 65 and 75 grams, then yeah, you might want to knit a little extra something. Maybe you want to make the socks a bit longer, maybe you want to knit a small something to go with, but so long as your final post contains at least 50 grams of yarn, which I'm sure all of us can do, whether it's you knit 2 pairs of socks, you knit 2 baby hats, or a pair of socks and a baby hat, a shawl, a light summery top that you want, all of that is clearly going to use more than 50 grams of yarn. So that would be great. The dates, those will be something useful as well. I'm not going to start it immediately. I was thinking of doing it from the 1st of May, but that's only Tuesday. That doesn't give anyone much time to gather yarn, gather patterns, have a bit of a think. So I thought, okay, move it back a little bit. The dates are going to be from the 10th of May, so that's when you can start actually casting on and working on your projects from then onwards. And it will be running till the 10th of April? Sorry, I'm going backwards in my time. 10th of August. So that gives you 3 months. That gives you 10th of May, all the way through to the 10th of August. 3 months to knit at least 50 grams. I'm sure all of us can do that. Between now and then, I will be showing the odd little thing here and there, which will be a prize. I'm hoping to get together a nice project bag, a skein or 2 of yarn, potentially some notions, but at the moment, as we sit here, I haven't got anything yet as prizes. So if anyone wants to donate something, that's great. If I see something in a shop, because I am planning to go to Loop in the next month or 2, I will obviously be on the lookout for a few little somethings there. Should I get up the sojo together to sew anything other than the clothes I've planned, I may well sew a project bag, who knows. But oh, sorry for the glare there, thought I'd managed to get rid of that this week. But yeah, there'll be a KAL coming up from the 10th of May to the 10th of August, at least 50 grams of yarn. The theme is sunny days, and I will be sorting out a hashtag for that for use on Ravelry and Instagram. I will pop that in a little bar across the bottom or in the show notes. I'm thinking something like TCD for the Crafty Dragon, and probably sunny or sunny days KAL 2018. I think that would work. So yeah, but that will be in the show notes below. So on with all the knitting goodness. As you can see, I am wearing a nice knitted jumper because yes, it's the end of April, almost summer, and I'm in a thick worsted weight jumper. That's the weather today. Last weekend I was too hot to even be able to put makeup on without it running down my face. That's why last week I looked a little less polished, shall we say. But this weekend, it's the weather for worsted weight jumpers. What the hell? But so I'll show you. This is Frances Revisited. It is a worsted weight free jumper pattern on Ravelry. It's by Beth Silverstein, and it has this lovely detailing around it's easy to show you on the collar, but it's got this lovely moss stitch. Well, it's moss stitch in the UK. I can't quite remember what the American version is, and that's all around the neck. It's all round the cuffs. It is round the bottom of the jumper, but that's a little bit harder to show you. It's a full length jumper. In fact, it's quite a long one. It actually goes. It covers my bum nicely, shall we say? But also it's just loose enough gauge. It's not stiflingly hot. It is quite airy for a worsted weight jumper, which is also quite nice. That is actually the only me-made thing this week, but it is particularly nice. In case anyone's interested, I knitted it out of, I think is it James C. Brett? It's a wool acrylic mix. I don't think it's particularly woolly. I think it's the acrylic that's higher this time, unlike sock yarn. Yeah, I think I think it's sort of like sock yarn percentages, but the other way round, so the wool is the smaller quantity. I got it in a charity shop. I think it was £8 for two 400-gram balls of yarn. I wasn't going to say no, and I think I've still got a bit left to make a, well, hat or something out of. But yeah, it's all big and comfy and squishy, and I love it. I knitted the largest size, but I'm pretty certain I could have got away with at least the next size down, because there is quite a lot of ease in this. Okay, it has been washed a few times, worn quite a lot, so it's probably stretched out a bit. But even so, I think if I was to knit this again, I'd probably go down a size or two, at least one really. So on with what I've been knitting. So this week I have been knitting mostly on two projects. Last week I showed you my Cozy Memories blanket, and I was just sort of in the blue section here. This is obviously now finished, and I've got a couple more to show you. So that's a Regia colourway. Can't remember the name. I think it only had a numbers description. There was no colourway name. This one here, which, if we can, oh, it's showing up so dull and dingy, when it's actually this really nice, bright. Can I get? Is there any way to show? No. So, unfortunately, let's see if I can get this even closer. So, unfortunately, this is showing as really rather dull and dingy, when actually it's this amazing sort of forest greens and bright autumnal oranges and golds and reds. It makes me think of a forest in autumn. Also makes me think of Katie from Inside Number 23, because she is the queen of autumn colours. And this is Woolnicer. I can't remember the colourway name, I'm afraid. I will see if I can find the label or find the colourway and put it in the show notes if possible. This one looks like it's black, but it's actually purple and black. And can you see the sparkle? There should be some sparkle because it's a stellina base. This is Distant Galaxies by Mothie and the Squid, and it is lovely. I knitted a pair of socks out of this. This is the leftovers, and it's just amazing. I love it. Let's see. Does it want to show? Maybe I can highlight it a bit better in the editing. And this one, which is still showing quite dull and dingy, which is really annoying when it's actually awesome colours. It is Wonder Woman colourway by the Yarn Lab UK, and yeah, it's awesome. It looks exactly like the colour description says. It looks like Wonder Woman's colours, so it's this beautiful reds and blue and this sort of shifting gold. It goes sort of between a really sort of burnished gold to sort of slightly orangey to slightly greenish where it merges with the blue. And it's lovely, and it's also soft and squishy. What I knitted out of it, that this is the leftovers from, is Reyna shawl, R-E-Y-N-A. It's a free pattern again, which is always handy, and it's just lovely. It used something like 80 grams, the shawl, so I've got a little bit left over after even doing this square. But that's it. So I finished one square off and knitted another 3 on this blanket, which means I have another 4 to go until I finish this row off. After that, well, not after that, as well as I have been knitting on socks for me, socks that I can show you. So, the colour this week is really awful. This is an amazing pinky purple in the middle and bright but dark green at the bottom, with this sort of slightly paler but still bright pinky purple going between, and it's beautiful. And it is just another commercial yarn, a Drops Delight print, I think it is. It's a singles yarn actually. Didn't realise that when I was buying it. It's one of the ones I showed in the first episode or 2, I believe, in that sort of big bag from Wool Warehouse that I got, and it's lovely. I've decided these are my raspberry and lime pie socks, because when you see it in real life, it does kind of look raspberry-ish there, and then like the peel of lemon, lime there. It's just awesome, and the green is just coming back in again at the top. But yeah, that colour, the lighting today is absolutely awful. Well, that's slightly better. It's a little bit closer to what it really is, but not much. So I'm doing Hermione's Everyday Socks pattern, but from the toe up. So basically, you take the chart that's in the pattern, you turn it upside down, then you get a toe up version. I'm doing an I've partridge toe, starting with 8 stitches per needle, going up to 32 stitches per needle for a 64 stitch sock. Knitting it on 2.75mm needles, and they are Knit Pro Symphonies. I pretty much always knit on wooden needles because metal ones just hurt my hands and plastic ones squeak, personally. And these are a mixture of affordability, availability and wooden for why I have them instead of any of the other slightly fancier ones like the, is it Liquor that I've seen going around a bit. They look awesome, but I looked at the price and went, maybe not. Unfortunately, maybe for Christmas presents or something, or birthday presents. But yeah, and I thought once the sock pattern had started coming up, once the Hermione's Everyday Sock texture pattern came up, it looked more like raspberries because, you know, the raspberries had the little bumps and then the socks have the little bumps, and yeah, so clearly these are raspberry and lime pie socks. I've got a couple of pattern repeats to go before I start doing the gusset increases. Then there'll be the heel. So I do gusset and heel flap socks because they fit my feet best. I have tried a few other patterns, but they haven't been quite as well fitting. Probably if I did them a few more times, I'd work out, oh no, I need to do a little bit more before the heel or a little bit less. It's one of those trial and error things, and so far I just like this. Maybe I will try a different construction technique. I have been thinking of the Fish Lips Kiss heel for a while, but not yet, because I like this. I know I can do it. It's easy to do at knit nights or when I'm on the train, on the way to work, when I'm at lunchtime, when I've only got a few minutes. It's just easier to stick with a pattern that I know pretty much inside out, upside down, and so on. So that is all my knitting for this week, because unfortunately I have no finished objects for you. Hopefully I will at least have a hoe next week, if not a full pair of socks, fingers crossed, because I did only cast those socks on Wednesday, and it is actually now Saturday at about 11 AM, but there were 2 full work days in there and some stuff yesterday that I had to do, which meant that it took away from my knitting time quite a bit on my day off. So that's been sort of 2 evenings work and sort of a little bit of a day off. Not the full amount of knitting I would necessarily have been doing since Wednesday to today, if I hadn't been quite so busy. But that's life getting in the way, rearing its ugly head just when you think, oh yeah, things are sorted, I can just sit back with my knitting, catch up on my shows, that sort of thing. No, life decides to shove its great ugly foot in the way and mess up your plans. Joy. But that's part of being an adult. Deal with it, get through it, get on with everything that you've got to do, and then manage to carve out 10 minutes for yourself here and there. Or at least that's how I manage my adulting. Hopefully it works generally. I haven't yet been made homeless, so it's got to work. So, also, unfortunately, I have no stash acquisition for you. This is sad. I feel sad for not having more squishy things to show and to squish for myself. But yesterday was payday. There may have been an order placed, or 2, or 3. Small orders, but they won't be here till next week. So I will have some pretty things to show you next week, which is always good. So stay tuned for them. One squishy, well, one definitely squishy, another one probably squishy, and another package going, oh, pretty. If that's not too much of a odd description of them all. I did, however, give in and buy the pattern for the Oracle Shawl by Kristen Lehrer of the Full and Vine Yarns and the Yarngasm podcast, because it came out around my birthday last year, and I was like, oh, that's pretty, but I don't have the yarn, I don't have this, I'm not sure about brioche, blah blah, and I've put it off and I've put it off, and then I've seen other people's pretty ones, and I've seen hers again, and I've gone, you know what, I want to do that, I'm going to get the pattern, and then over the next few months I'll dig out the yarn from here and there, maybe buy one, yeah, that sort of thing, gather the yarn together and get on with it. Maybe it'll be part of my sunny days KAL, maybe it'll be what I make. I do have to, however, teach myself how to do brioche. Luckily, at the end of the pattern, there's a few links that Kristen's put in for where to go for how to do brioche, how to do the cast-on she recommends, and all this various good stuff. So I will follow them and do a test square or something just to learn how to do brioche. Oh, sorry if it's a bit jumpy there, I just had to pause because I had a massive cough from this blasted cold come out. No one wanted to see that or hear it, no one. So yes, no stash for you at the moment, no stash for me at the moment, but I did buy a pattern. Yay. So without further ado, I guess this brings me on to ramblings and what I've been up to this week. As I said, I had a bit of a nasty cold at the beginning of the week, and I've still got the delightful remnants of it, as you can hear from my voice. How nice of it. It's a lingering little so-and-so. So this week hasn't really been filled with much at all. I did see my parents on Wednesday. Most of the time at the moment, I seem to be going over and staying at my parents on Wednesdays. We catch up on shows that we use my Amazon Prime account for some things to catch up on some TV shows. We use their Netflix account for some things. It's a nice time to catch up with my parents, and I did manage to do that this week, so that was all fun. Another delightful part of adulting was yesterday I went and got my new glasses, or rather I ordered them and I picked them up next Friday. It's going to be exactly the same frames because I like them, I feel they suit my face, and they're purple, and they're still in production, but it'll just be updated the prescription, and I've managed to get the anti-glare, anti-reflective coating put on, well, included in the price, which is always handy because that should mean that my eyes don't get so bad so quickly, they won't get so tired from work, from looking at the computer screen, and hopefully it will also reduce this delightful glare because it's an anti-glare coating. We can only hope. And on that note, I was going to mention something else about Avengers Infinity War, but I haven't seen it yet. Basically, it was just that I haven't seen it yet, I plan to, and I have a load of, oh my god, flail going on. But I think that's enough rambling for 1 week. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me. It'd be great if you could hit subscribe or like on this video. That'd be lovely. It's the best way to keep yourself up to date with new videos coming out. I do try to upload weekly on a Sunday morning at about 11 AM, hopefully, depending on technology. So hitting subscribe would let you know when that video comes out, because I can't always guarantee the same time or day. Well, hopefully the same day. So if you want to hit subscribe, which is just down here, that would be great. All the show notes will be in the down bar and also on Ravelry. And I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Bye!